Goggle. Social justice is a modern religion. As in traditional religions, such as Hinduism, the word comes in many forms. The word of God. We have books like the Quran. Everyone's listening at Shabbat. Christians see Jesus on toast. I wonder if that's the Jesus from my Twitter story earlier. And social justice gets baked into our tech products. Hashtag Google. So Goggle. Social justice is a modern religion. So I do have a video out. Social justice is a modern religion. You can check that out on BitChute and YouTube for more about my views on social justice. But essentially, it's just a code. Political correctness. We have, of course, different systems. Intersectionality, identity politics. Some call it cultural Marxism. I prefer social Marxism. But it's a collectivist ideology in which people are, placed immutably into groups, and it's just determined. It's a very postmodern system where we all have a value. We all have a certain number of points assigned to us, certain values assigned to us, and of course prophets and popes decide, and then disciples of the modern religion go around and enforce it and make sure that they're sticking to code. They are going by the code of that particular sect of the modern religion of social justice. Social justice disciples go around creating martyrs because they turn normal, average people into monsters that they have to fight against to generate equity and equality and turn the oppressor into the oppressed. And I guess turn the oppressed into the oppressor in the process. You'll have to tell me more. I have other videos out there. Questions for the disciples of the modern religion of social justice. We can certainly get to the bottom of this one of these days. So as in traditional religions such as Hinduism, the word comes in many forms. And we have books like the Quran. Everyone listens at Shabbat. And Christians see Jesus on toast. But now we have something new. Google has gone ahead and baked social justice into our tech products. What that means is that now when you use a Google search, they are using algorithms and other features behind the scenes to ensure equality and equity for all. Even if there may be, for example, and I believe there should be more women in STEM fields. I think that everyone should have equal opportunity to do what they want with their lives. But if there happen to be more men in a field, now of course in the social justice modern religion, men are viewed as the oppressor and women are the oppressed. That's the popular dichotomy there. So in the Google search results, they are suppressing reality. Reality being that there are more men in certain fields than others, in other groups. There are more men than women in certain fields. For example, science. There just are. Now, that might have changed. There may be, certainly fact check me, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below, but, there are certainly cases where there are more women in a field or there are more men in a field. And Google doesn't care about that. It goes by the code of the modern religion and says, well, we have to amplify the number of female voices, the number of female results, because otherwise we're not doing our due diligence. We're not going to achieve moral virtue and universal truth by putting out the unfiltered results. No, we're going to have to amend those results with our algorithms and make sure that reality is skewed according to our religious belief system. That's the long and the short of it. So social justice is getting baked into tech products. They are, it's not just social justice, but other modern religions as well, because they're taking, they're using their judgment and taking certain users, certain features. They're taking certain apps and certain developers and saying, and certain outlets like InfoWars, and saying, you just can't be here. We're going to censor you off, but allow CNN, who does the same thing, to remain. Censorship is a modern religion, folks, and I'm pretty atheistic on it. Technically agnostic. I think there are some cases where we want to have free speech and others where we don't. But in the case of InfoWars, it's an entertainment product. It's infotainment. I mean, I don't know why Alex Jones isn't back by now. I'm not even a big fan. It just doesn't make any sense to me when you have fake news on all sides of politics going, and then InfoWars is singled out. It doesn't make any sense. But social justice is baked in. Project Veritas, they did do a couple of releases on this. Check them out on YouTube. You can see those releases where they show you and they talk to people that know from the inside perspective just how Google has tried to implement social justice into their algorithms. Now again, there may be good outcomes from this. There may be bad outcomes. I'm not saying that the action itself is necessarily positive or negative, but it certainly isn't the closest thing to truth. It's skewing, engineering culture and our reality, because we believe in reality based on the stimuli we get, the information we receive, right? We're getting a view, a window into reality when we open up Twitter. We're getting a skewed view because they push, Democrat-leaning or left-leaning content. And there's more, I guess, left-leaning people on there. So things trend on Twitter that if you go to any other website may not be trending. It's just that they happen to have that bias. And there's nothing wrong with it, but as long as we're not staying in one echo chamber and we're using echo chambers as a vacation home and not a permanent place to stay, we actually have our nice home of open dialogue, and then we have echo chambers that are a vacation where we can cognitively rest, we can let our confirmation bias take over for a bit, ease our cognitive dissonance muscles, and enjoy ourselves for just a little bit before venturing back into intellectualism. I believe in that. I think that there should be a refuge for people that just want to have a good time and not have their opinions and their views questioned constantly. There should be a place for that, like a safe space, you could say, but temporary. Vacation home, not permanent. So it is what it is. Religion being baked into products, it is what it is. Notably modern religion, ideology, and reality run on separate interweaving tracks. And frankly, Google has gone ahead and blurred the lines. Godspeed, Google. God goggles on. We'll see what happens. We'll see if there's long-term adverse effect or if there's long-term positive effect. But it is what it is. They have baked social justice into their algorithms.